Hello everyone, welcome to the series on literary theories, and in this video we are going to discuss Structuralism. Introduction. Structuralism is an intellectual movement that emerged in France in 1950s, fundamentally transforming various fields including anthropology, literary criticism, and philosophy. Key figures such as anthropologist Claude Lévi-Strauss and literary critic Roland Barthes played pivotal roles in developing and popularizing structuralist ideas. The essence of structuralism is the belief that things cannot be understood in isolation but must be seen in the context of larger structures. This perspective contrasts sharply with traditional approaches that focus on individual elements in isolation. Structuralism in literature. In the realm of literature, Structuralism advocates for understanding literary works within their broader structural contexts. For example, consider John Donne's poem Good Morrow. A structuralist analysis would emphasize the importance of understanding the genre it parodies and subverts. The poem is an example of an alba or dawn song, a poetic form from the 12th century in which lovers lament the approach of daybreak as it signifies their parting. However, this understanding requires further knowledge of the concept of courtly love and the nature of poetry itself. Thus, structuralism insists that literary works are part of larger cultural and historical structures, which must be considered to grasp their full meaning. Structuralist approach. The structuralist approach focuses on the structures that organize human experience and perception. According to structuralism, meaning is not an inherent code within things but is attributed by the human mind. This perspective leads to a shift in literary analysis, moving away from the individual text towards broader questions about genre, history, and philosophy. For structuralists, the context and structures surrounding a text are crucial for its interpretation rather than a close, isolated reading of the text itself. Structuralism versus liberal humanism. The structuralist approach can be contrasted with liberal humanism using the analogy of chickens and eggs. In this analogy, the containing structures, for example, the alba, courtly love, and poetry as a cultural practice are the chickens, and the individual literary works, for example Donne's poem, are the eggs. Structuralist critics focus on understanding the precise nature of the chickens, the larger structures, while liberal humanists prioritize the close analysis of the eggs, the individual texts. This fundamental difference highlights the divergent priorities of the two approaches, with structuralism emphasizing broader, abstract contexts and liberal humanism focusing on detailed textual analysis. Impact of structuralism. The arrival of structuralism in Britain and the USA in the 1970s sparked considerable controversy. Traditional literary criticism in these regions had long emphasized text-based analysis, advocating for the close study of literary works in isolation from wider contexts. This approach, often associated with the Cambridge Revolution in English studies in the 1920s, tended to exclude broader, abstract questions. Structuralism, with its focus on large, abstract issues, challenged this established tradition, prompting a significant shift in literary studies. Key questions raised by structuralism. Structuralism introduced several key questions that challenged traditional literary criticism. These questions include: what do we mean by literary? How do narratives work? What is a poetic structure? By raising such questions, structuralism prompted scholars to reconsider the foundations of literary interpretation. These questions directed attention away from the close reading of texts and towards a broader understanding of the structures that shape literature and meaning. Conclusion. Structuralism has had a transformative impact on English studies and literary criticism, shifting the focus from individual texts to broader structural contexts. By emphasizing the importance of understanding the larger structures that organize human experience and perception, structuralism has introduced new ways of thinking about literature and meaning. The legacy of structuralism continues to influence literary theory and criticism, encouraging ongoing exploration of the abstract structures that underpin literary works. So this was the discussion on structuralism. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other topic. Until then, goodbye and thank you.